All right, so this is a short I took on ES and I did this all on a 1 minute time frame using the the volume bars at the bottom and the volume table. So I wanted to short this already. The reason being was because you see those wicks to the left, we swept all those highs. Every wick swept the previous high. So I wanted to go short because this wasn't long to me. But I was trying to rush it, but I had to stop myself because I told myself the big money's not buying yet. So I was just waiting until I saw that candle, until my table showed me like a gold candle. And actually, you see on this candle right here, this candle faked out a lot of people. A lot of people went long on this candle because of that right there. So I froze this part of the video to show y'all, like, if you saw this candle, your first thing to do is to long. But since I know that those last previous highs swept every other high, right, I'm looking to go short. Like, this wasn't bullish to me. I was already short, and do you see those blue lines? Those blue lines are lows that price had to sweep yet. So I knew that price was gonna come down and take out those lows. And watch this here. Went up, a lot of people bought that candle, and what happened? Watch this. And you see the volume, right? It says now up 6.4K volume. So it's telling you like how much volume is in that candle. That was big money. They were trapping breakout traders. And as you can see, the moment price went up there, it started to reject. And then watch this. It closed as a gravestone doji. It said it closed as a gravestone doji. I tried to go short here, but I got stopped out. So I waited until price broke that red candle low, and then I went short. I think right here. So once it confirmed, I went short. And then we just watched, like, it swept out that low. And it just kept going. And that one single candlestick, and if you go back and look at price, that one single stick caused the MES to drop 100 points. So from that one single stick, MES and ES drops 100 points today. And all you had to do was be patient. So right there, I got stopped out. But I was still short because I'm like, we just had a gravestone doji come in. Bulls are trying to buy back in this candle, knowing well that price has to come back and take out the rest of those lows. So I got in again right here. And I moved up my stop loss because I think my stop was too low. That's why I got stopped out. So I got in right here in this candle because, number two, we have a gravestone to the doji upside. We have bulls trying to buy back that candle. This next candle did what? It's coming down. So all those people who went long right there, what happened to them? They're now scared because that candle is going to the stop loss. And like I said, under every high and low is a stop loss. And then I go out to the 15-minute time frame to confirm on a higher time frame too. I'm like, okay, this is a bear. Like, this isn't a bullish setup. Like, this is bearish. Like, you should not be buying today. If you are buying today, then you are scalping one candle. But this is a short. And I think this is a 4-hour candle or the 30-minute time frame. I don't know. But I know I went to higher time frames to like see, and I went to like move like my levels to see like the main levels on the higher time frames because I knew price was going down to that wick. And as you can see, ever since it made that 4-hour doji candle, it just kept dropping. And this is going to be a long video because like I can't explain this in 5 minutes. Like, I can't explain like my thought process. And then I drew that level right there because I'm like, that is my first level. Price should break that low, then price should come down. And here I started to adjust my levels because that bottom one is the 4-hour low of the last candlestick. So that was my overall target. And like I said, I'm in profit. So once I get deep in profit, I move my stop loss to break even, and I just wait. And as you can see, that one candle, right, told the story. Those last two candles, right, that red doji candle with that wick to the downside, that candle had 9K volume. That next candle had 11.3K volume. This current candle, right, it has like 6K volumes. Look, it took out that low, it bounced up a little bit to trap people because people like that candle that made that low was a bullish candle. But you got to realize that bullish candle went up, but it didn't do anything. It didn't break that last high. Those wicks broke that last high. So price was rejecting that area. Like, if we see all those wicks right there, and if we're not making like new higher lows and higher highs, then price is just going to come back down. Right? And what goes up must come down. But that gravestone doji told you the whole story. That's why I tell y'all, like, you have to wait for volume. And I even, on a tweet, I tweeted out I'm waiting because it is only retail traders trading right now. I legit said that. And the moment I saw volume come in, because I was a retail trader too, I was trying to get in early, and I kept getting stopped out. So I was telling myself, I'm just wait for the volume to come in and confirm the short. So once I saw that gravestone doji come in, no, I tried to go short there. I got stopped out. So I just re-entered. So right now I'm in profit. And once price go to my target, like I'm sitting here, like I'm telling y'all, like my thought process in real time, like I'm just waiting for price to go to my target. And you see at the bottom all those volume bars right there, like they are short. They're not buying. They aren't buying. Like, and I don't get why people are trying to buy when clearly like the price action told you to sell. Right. So that was my first target, but I'm not holding. I'm not selling because I moved my stop to break even. And I told myself I'm either going to get stopped out and I'm going to get a better entry, or price is going to come down to my targets. Because once I'm in a trade, I just hold it. Because Gann said pretty much once you're in a trade, right, why are you going to sell unless the market gives you a reason to sell? And I only sold down there because I was up over 106. If I wanted to, I could have held this trade. I could have truly held it. But like I'm not really, I don't know, like I feel like 100 ticks, you know, in like ES or in MES, like that's like you know, people catch like 20 and 30 ticks with like 100 ticks, you know, back to back, like you know, like I'm grateful that I'm able to see this. And this is just me using the volume. Like I'm not even using the time aspect in it because I'm not there yet. So this is just me catching these trades just using the volume. That's why I told y'all, like, you have to learn volume. Like, if you're one of those who doesn't know volume or who doesn't learn volume, then you're just holding yourself back and you're always going to be late to trades. And I don't want to hear, I use the EMA to enter my trades, and that's why you're always late. Because you'd rather rely on a tool that lags than use a tool in real time. And I don't know how many times to say this, but big money, they can't hide their orders with volume. That is why I say on a volume table, you know, for entries, whatever lower time frame you use, that is your first table. Your table 2 and table 3 is like is your higher time frame table. So if you're one of those who trades on a 5-minute time frame, your first table, you should always be looking at the 5-minute chart. Your last 2 tables, they're set the volume to whatever time frame you know that you look at the higher time frame. And I'm not saying you don't have to stay in a 5-minute time frame, but for your entries and for your exits, you know, use the time frame that you trade on. Like that first table is the time frame that you trade on a volume table. Your last 2 tables are the higher time frames. But like I said, you can't just use that tool by yourself. Like you have to draw your levels. And you saw, I already had my levels drawn out. I already had a plan. I told myself today I'm gonna go short. There's no one buying, and that's why I don't trade the first 30 minutes. If I don't see volume, I'm not trading. And the first 30 minutes is always sharp. There's always volume during the first 30 minutes because the market's just open. That's why I don't trade the first 30 minutes. And I think I caught that trade. Let's see. I'm looking at the chart right now. That gravestone doji, it forms. Hold on, I'm in bar replay because I was back testing. But that gravestone doji today, that candle formed at 9:40 a.m. That is why at 9:40 a.m. that candle formed, and a lot of people were getting too impatient. A lot of people are like, oh, this is market's not doing anything sideways, but look what happened. When the market does do something, people FOMO and panic, and they get catch off guard. That's why Wyckoff said, you know, dual markets are the best time to look for entries. They're the best time to plan because they're dual for a reason. You don't think the banks don't know what they're doing? It's to catch people off guard because if you lower your shield, you get stabbed. But if you have up your shield, you don't get stabbed. The market's the same way. The moment you lower your guard, it's the moment the market will take advantage of you. And even Trump said, I thought the market would do this. Even Trump doesn't know what the market's going to do because the market is ran off of human psychology. It's not run off news. It's not run off tweets. I keep trying to tell y'all that, but folks don't listen. They don't listen until they blow their account. And that's when they listen, if I'm being honest. But you can see we're still in a bearish market. Like people saw those wicks to the upside. Like those wick candles, those green candles, they were bullish candles, right? All they're doing is they're just trying to trap in bulls. That's all they're doing. And people who are they're counter trend trading, right? Because they're trying to time the bottom. And I said you cannot time the bottom of this market. You just have to wait for price to come to you. And you see, I drew that level right there on the 1 minute time frame. Now, why would I draw that level? Because that red candle is the last sell candle before price made that giant impulsive move to the upside. So that was my target. And I already had my target there because of that blue line. That red candle, it just confirmed my target. It just confirmed like my first CP. Cause that was my overall first CP. And like I said, once I'm in a trade, I'm just holding it until it goes to my target. Either it goes to my target or I get stopped out. And you can see, just keep watching. Like I said, this is a 16-minute long video. But this is what I do. I screen record all my trades and I go back and I watch it. That's how I get better. But the moment that gravestone doji started everything, and that's why I go back to Mishima Hama, the founder of Japanese candlesticks, right? He talked about the doji stick. If you actually read his books. But like I said, a lot of people, they want to use all these tools and fancy stuff when the pros who had to do this, mind you, Hama had to do this by hand with a piece of paper. He had to draw every candlestick on a piece of paper. Gannon and Wyckoff, they didn't have all this tech that we had. If they had laptops and screens like we had, do you know how much money they would be making now compared to back then? Back then, they only had the tape. And the tape back then, I don't even think it was that good. Like, if you compare the tape back then to the tape now, our tapes now, they're super advanced. Tape back then, it was just, they weren't really that advanced, but they still used them. And Gann had to draw his charts, on a piece of paper. All his Gann charts, he had to draw them all on a piece of paper. Now, you just do everything on TradingView. And then I drew a trend line, I think, right here. No, I drew a level. No, I did draw a trend line. Yes. So I'm going to show you why I drew this trend line. Because I found I call it a trend zone or a trend pocket where price goes. It's like geometry. It's pretty much geometry. Because you see that triangle right there? There's a triangle. It's a triangle zone. That's why I did that. I connected two of the trend lines. I did one and then I did two. And I drew that triangle right there. Like it's a triangle zone. So that was my overall target. That last trend line. And watch, and you see price go down there. It'll go down there and it'll bounce. And on high key, I could have got back in on the short, and I could have actually sniped that long down there and took it back up. But like I said, I'm not trying to overtrade, and I'm not trying to be greedy, right? Because like once I catch a good trade, like I don't want to give back profits, if that makes sense. So as you can see, right, it made that bearish flag, and it just started to break down. But a lot of people, they were trying to buy that because they were trying to take it back up top when we broke. That green candle I had with that blue level, that candle was holding up all that price action. So once we broke that whole top structure, we have no choice but to go down to the next area of demand. And the next area of demand was that last red candle before that impulsive buy candle. And I did this all on the 1 minute time frame. I didn't even look at the higher time. The only thing I did on the higher time frames was I went to the daily and I marked out the daily open. Well, I marked out the last daily open, high and low. That's all I did. And then I marked out the last 4 hour low. Like that's legit all I did. But like I did this trade all on the 1 minute time frame. And then I think I got rid of the trend lines there because like I said, like I don't like a lot of stuff on my charts. And I think I went back to the 4 hour time frame to like see like how much time we had left of the candle, and I knew like this 4 hour candle, like if you see a 4 hour candle that big, it's just gonna keep going down. Like no one's gonna buy that. And we have all that space to fill in that big green candle, that void, that void, because it's just bulls buying. Like there's no sell, so price had to come back down. And then I think I got rid of stuff, and I was changing colors. Yes, because I think I had my daily colors and the 4 hour colors the same. Yeah, so I even wrote the 4 hour low right there. So I want to get confused. And then as you can see, right here, watch. I didn't sell there because I knew that was a fake out because my overall zone is at the bottom. And then I zoomed out just to like look at the overall price action, and then you see that shape we made, that round bowl shape. Well, that's a inverted cup and handle. That bowl shape, the cup, and you know where price paused before it broke down. That's the handle. And then I'm just zooming out on the higher time frame still. I'm still looking at overall price. But yeah, I pretty much caught the top. And I did this being patient, and you can see price, it went down to my zone. And I think I sold down there. I sold right there. I sold right there because price, it pretty much hit my overall target. And then watch this from there. It bounced right back up to that same zone, and it sold off again. But I don't think I caught that yet because I think I stopped the recording. But yeah, then I just saved this picture of it, put it on my Twitter to show y'all. Because I'm telling y'all, like, I'm just doing all this just based off the volume table. Like, I'm not using anything else. Like, I draw my levels, but everything, like I said, I'm a volume-based trader first. And then the GAN stuff, I just apply when I have to apply it. Like, I can see it already, all the GAN stuff. Like I said, if I were to draw it all out on my chart, y'all wouldn't be able to read my charts. But y'all aren't supposed to because, they're my charts. So if I can read it, I'm fine. But I like to make my charts, simple, so that way people can read it. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one.